What's up, guys? Today is day 135 of Deadlift Everyday, and today I wanted to talk about how you can use the Smolov Junior program for hypertrophy. Because the Smolov programs, both the junior version and the 13-week version, are commonly known as strength programs, often putting somewhere between 15 kilos to 30 kilos on someone's previous maxes. But now the question is, can they be used for hypertrophy? Well, the answer is yes, they can certainly be used for hypertrophy. It's got a lot of sets and a lot of reps at challenging percentages, so enough useful volume to make you grow. But there are some very important things to take into account. The first one is, don't use too high of a max. The reasoning for that is simple. If you use a max that is too high, it will absolutely wreck your recovery. If you're grinding out set after set, it is going to take its toll. Sooner or later you will get hurt or get burned out. And it's just not sustainable this way. So the first thing to do is lower your max to about 90% or maybe even 85% of your 1 rep max. This leads into the second thing you need to take into account. What you want to do is focus on the muscles you're trying to target and control the movement. To use myself as an example, I'm trying to target my quads with the heels elevated trap bar deadlift. That means that I deliberately want to stay in my quads on the descent and on the ascent of the lift. And yes, that makes it way harder than if I would hinge and use my back and hips more, but that kind of defeats the purpose of why I am doing them. So mind-muscle connection and near to perfect positioning is key here. And something that always helps for me is using a very slow descent. That way I can guide myself into the perfect starting position at the bottom of the movement, but also keep the tension on the quads the whole time. And you will absolutely know if you're in the right position, because the target muscle will be burning like crazy. So if you do those things right, you can already expect some serious gains. But there is more. And this is especially true for the Smolov Junior cycle, because as you know, it is only 3 weeks long. And while you can grow a little bit of muscle in that time, it likely is not enough to see any significant changes. So what do? We string a few cycles together. 2 3-week cycles would already be an improvement, but even better would be if you string 3 or maybe even 4 cycles together. That doesn't have to be with the same exact movement. It could also be done with a close variation of that movement. But if you decide to run that next cycle with a different variation, you need to know your max for that lift, or at least very close to it. In any case, running it with a different variation is a great way to go about it for more advanced lifters, and also a great way to manage the fatigue and maybe prevent some niggles and pains. So to recap what has just been said, Smolov is a great program for hypertrophy. But to make it even more effective, you have to 1. Lower the max, 2. Focus on the target muscle, and 3. String multiple cycles together. And that is basically it. And maybe one more thing to add is, make your recovery a priority. Even with deflated maxes, this is a tough program. Don't underestimate it. Alright guys, that is all I have for today. I hope you liked the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.